Hello everybody, Mailman here from Goat Productions. Took my first deer of the season. Favorite daylight scope, ATN's X-Sight 4K Pro, the 5x20 I prefer. Problem with deer hunting right now is I have Ethan, my grandson, and I have Hunter. My son's still at home, it's his senior year. I got some established spots, I got some shooter bucks, but they like to reserve them. I don't want to go in there and take them, so Halloween day. Hunter had a Halloween party, he didn't get to go, so I went to a different spot. But what I did the week before, when I deer hunt, we got some deer property that only we can hunt. And I take Hunter to my established spots. He goes after those target bucks. And what I do is I take my ATN equipment out there and I go to different parts of the property that I don't have deer hunting spots at. What I do is I move into areas where I'm at night looking for hogs and I see a bunch of does. I want to find those doe families. So what I do is I take my scanner out there when I'm hog hunting and I see that group of doe over here. I'll see 7 doe feeding at night in some places. So what I do is I explore a little bit. A week ago, before I took this harvest, I went out and I dropped Hunter at one of the spots we have a buck, target buck. I'll throw a couple of his target bucks up here. So he gets to hunt in those spots. What I do is I branch out and I went to another place where there is a bunch of old pin oak trees. I love to hunt pin oaks here in South Carolina. Now, there are some white oak areas I'll go in, but those tend to get hit hard by the hogs and the deer are there at night. So I'll hunt white oaks occasionally, but pin oaks always produce for me. I went into this area and there was an old pond there and I found like a 4-point spike. It's a nice high one chasing does. But then I moved down to an area where I know that I always catch animals feeding. I like, for video purposes, I want to get into an area where they spend a lot of time. They're not just moving through and I don't get that quick shot. I want them to come in there, feed a little bit. And you're going to see in this deer video at the end here, where they come in and they feed and I got time to watch them, time to look at them, and I get really good video. I'm after video. Hunter's after target bucks. I'm after video, and it tends to work out. So I went to this new area, pin oaks, big pin oak trees. And then I found a big piece of the tree fell onto the fence. And what there was a lot of crossing right there. So I'm standing there right by this blowdown. In the first video I want to bring you, there's 2 videos. It's 2 different bucks come into me right here in the daylight in these pin oaks, right where that tree fell on that fence. So I'm standing there and you're actually going to see a part of the deadfall in front of me. You'll see it in front of me. And I had the 5x20, but I also had my thermal scanner and I had my squirrel gun. I was trying to get some footage with the X-Sight LTV out of my squirrel gun. So I'm standing there and this buck comes in. About a 6-point, and I get in there, get a little bit of video with the 5x20, and that buck leaves. I'm standing there a little bit longer waiting for some squirrels, and I look over and I believe it's the same buck coming in, and I film with my phone. So the second video we'll throw up here is with my phone, and another buck, another 8-point, comes in within a matter of a half an hour, that same area, in those pin oaks, feeding right where that crossing is. So what I did, got out, got Hunter, put a trail camera there, and what we found is hogs cross that place where that fence is down, deer cross it all the time, and there's a smaller 8-point in there. I just decided to go down there Halloween night. He doesn't want to go to his spot, and unfortunately a buck came out, but we're going to get that buck. It's a nice big body 7-point. I think Hunter will get it if he puts enough time into that stand. But I'm out there exploring new areas, and there's 3, 4, 5 bucks in this area on camera feeding on those pin oaks. I sit down in a ghillie suit top. There's a tree behind me. I'll show you the picture here. We'll throw the picture of the deer up first. And behind it, there's a big deadfall right there. Another big oak tree that fell. I just sat down against it. I'm totally offhand with this video coming up. So you're going to see an offhand video on my knee, sitting there with a buck I seen about a week before. We have that camera up there that texts me, and we see this buck in there about 5, 6 o'clock. I'm sitting there. I want to find out also what direction they come from. I really like to move into an area like this, watch the deer. You think you know what area they come from. This deer comes from a total different area. I see the rack coming up over the hill. I get my gun up, put on this deer, and I drop this deer in its tracks. Nice little 8-point, 140 pounds. I'll get some smokehouse special at the butcher's. We got salami. I got bacon. They make deer bacon and they make jerky. We'll have we always get our first deer in that. But check out this video with the X-Sight 4K Pro, the 5x20. I love this one for deer hunting. Offhand, on the ground, buck nice and close to me. I took him because of the video quality. I was getting some really good video. Check it out. Many more to come. We're going to get on those big ones.